So yeah, this morning we saw the second manned flight of Blue Origin and their new Shepard. It was new Shepard 18. It's the second manned flight to be taken off out of Texas. Again, Blue Origin. The previous flight had Jeff Bezos on board, his brother. Right? They went up to past the Kármán line, and basically, the whole flights are like 15 minutes. Well, this is the second flight, second manned flight. Took off this morning. Was previous postponed to today for weather a few days ago, or actually yesterday, I believe it was. And this one had 4 private citizens on board. One of which was William Shatner, Bill Shatner, Captain Kirk, the gentleman that played Captain Kirk for so many years. They went up a maximum altitude of 351,185 feet, so pretty high. Again, that is past the Kármán line, so technically that is one of the requirements for astronaut wings.
Mm-hmm.
And it's worth noting, Shatner. I gotta say, man, I'm looking at these videos and I'm seeing Shatner's 90, and he looks old, right? But he doesn't look 90 to me. That's just me,
Okay.
Right? That's just me. So I mean, he's looking
Right.
good. He's and I mean, for me, it's certainly cool to see Captain Kirk actually, go up to space, having played someone who's a space traveler for so
Mhm.
long. But it's really nice to see. If you guys haven't seen the webcast, check out the video link below and look towards near the end, where Jeff's talking to Shatner after he's exited the craft.
Mhm.
And it is interesting to see. Shatner's always a little bit. He's always got a nice way of talking, and a little bit. He's an actor, so he talks about stuff a certain way. But it's interesting to see that he's a little bit of a loss for words. That we could probably imagine most of us would be, right, to
Sure.
actually have had done such a thing.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. It was really good to listen to him just try to make sense and tell us all how amazing it was. So, but yeah, what do you think, man?
Well, look, I'm a big fan of Star Trek. I have been because basically grew up with it. It was before anything else. Before Star Wars ever took place, there was Star Trek, right? That's what was out there for everybody to watch, and it was digestible.
Yep.
Right? Maybe not so relatable because at the time no one really understood what a flight deck would look like in a real spacecraft, and that would actually, repeatedly go back and forth to space. And no one knew what the positions were, but they overlaid basically a Navy style principle of who would be captain and, other roles that would be fulfilled, which, absolutely great writing. But this is better than any script, right? It's like the guy makes good on the word. And it just so happens that before he has an opportunity to maybe even pay for his own way, he gets offered a ride on Blue Origin, which is great publicity. But on top of it,
Yeah.
William Shatner as a person, I've always enjoyed a lot of his work. He was also, I think, he was T.J. Hooker. He played a lot of other roles, but I think his most famous role will always be James Tiberius Kirk. But to see this guy go out into space, do the thing, and be grateful. I guess that's the other thing that I really couldn't emphasize anymore. And you watched a lot more of the post interview stuff that he did. He seemed genuinely grateful, and to me, that's important, right? He's had some ups and downs in his life. He's had personal tragedies in his family, and I'm sure that this is something that he can reflect upon and probably cherish this memory and also break history. He did make it past the Kármán line, so.
Yep.
I'm going to say something that I actually didn't talk to you about the show, which is maybe he's not a pastronaut because maybe he proved that in one particular sense of the word, an older person, male or female, can actually, for the advancement of space and space technology, he did the trip at the age 90. And let's face it, he's not a skinny guy either. So he proved that maybe everybody could endure that travel into space at whatever age. So maybe this guy, maybe he deserves to be an astronaut.
Yeah. I mean, part of that exact conversation, I have linked down there 2 links to talk about. Again, I know we've talked about this before, but like FAA's changed the definition of what a commercial astronaut
Right.
is, and so it used to be just a little bit easier. Now, as Mike said, there's a few things, and it talks about it, and you can look at it too. But one of them specifically says, and I quote, demonstrated activities during flight that were essential to public safety or contributed to human space flight safety. And I mean, I can think, if they took enough measurements in whatever shape or form of him while he was on the flight, that maybe there was significant, data that could be gleaned from his participation on boards. I don't know. We're not privy to that info, but possibly.
Who knows?
Yeah, wouldn't that be crazy? Be like, here he's got all these, all the wings he used to have, and then he's like, here's a real one.
Well, I wonder if he'll put it right up there next to the green alien woman space poster that he has sitting there as part of his treasured memorabilia from the Star Trek days, and a tricorder and maybe even a phaser. Look, it's cool news, great PR, but again, for the man,
Yeah.
for a guy who's put so much in front of the camera for people like us to enjoy, and whether you like him or not, really doesn't matter. He continues to entertain, and he played the role perfectly here. But it's almost fitting that the man that we all associate with space, Kirk, and that whole thing outside of any realistic astronauts, fantastic to see. That's what I gotta say.
Yep. It's pretty
Yep.
cool. Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. So, anything else for that?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm pretty good.
Yeah, cool. Well, I mean, I'll wrap this one up real quick. So you guys know we cut these into smaller segments, so people can find them easier if they're looking for particular content. So I'll say, please like, share, subscribe. Thanks so much for that. We'll cover space and aviation and all this other interesting stuff. Hit that bell down there to be notified when new stuff comes out too, and you can participate in the live show as well. So
There you go. All right, you know what? I'm going to change the order up